Today on Conversations That Convert, we're going to talk about how to use design as a selling tool. Let's get started.
Welcome to Conversations That Convert. Every week, we'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes tackling relevant lead generation, marketing, and sales topics for remodelers, home improvement companies, and home builders. Conversations That Convert is brought to you by Builder Lead Converter, your perfect sales assistant. And now, here's Rick and Diana.
Hi, hello.
Diana, you are looking lovely today, and your
Thank
architecturally inspired home behind you looks beautiful as well.
Thank you.
So, what are we going to talk about today, Diana?
So today we will talk about how to use design as a selling tool, or the question is, do you use design as a selling tool?
Right, exactly. The answer is yes and yes. This is one of my favorite topics is using design, and it's fun to get into the psychological aspect of it, where what a builder thinks and then what the lead thinks about design. So builders are often very, very protective of their designs. They look at them as sort of trade secrets, and the leads look at them as like essential data to help them make a choice of who's going to build their home or who's going to remodel their home. So this will be a fun one, Diana, and I know you love design as well with your new remodeling project. But this is still part, so we're in our How to Maximize Your Profit Margin series. Last week, we spoke with Russ Stevens from the Association of Professional Builders and talked about slot selling as a profit maximization tool. So now today we're talking about design. So if you have not gone back, there should be a link up here, maybe in the corner of the video or down below, and watch that show that we did with Russ Stevens. It was really packed with a lot of great tips for using slot selling, which is really the builder's secret weapon. So Diana, what do you think? Should we start talking about the typical design mistakes that builders make?
Yes, I'm very curious to find out at least 3 design mistakes that we are.
Exactly, three design mistakes. So mistake number one is not charging for design. And this is typically how the conversation goes, Diana, when I'm working with a new client, is I will ask them if they provide design services, and more often than not they do, whether this is for remodeling or home building. And then I'll go back and ask them to say, okay, well, are you charging for your design services? And usually it's a little bit, the conversation gets a little bit uncomfortable, and the builder says, well, I should charge more, but typically we don't. And it's very, just so you know, if you're not charging right now, it's very common where builders don't charge for design, because normally it's a tool that the builder will use to try to create, take a vision and create a little bit of reality where you can show your prospective customer, and then you use that to actually make the sale. So a lot of times what builders will do will say, well, I'll sketch something up and I'll come back and we'll look at it. And if you like it, we'll put some of a budget together, or at least a more streamlined budget. And so what happens is that you do your design work. Sometimes you make the sale, but a lot of times you don't make the sale. So then that's just wasted time. It is a mistake. If you're not charging for design, it is a mistake. We'll give you some tips here shortly on what you need to do. But please, 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 if you're not charging for design, stick with us to the end.
And charge for design.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about how to do it. There is a method in the madness.
All right. So what's mistake number 2?
So mistake number 2 is all about not showcasing design work. And again, going back, telling some stories. This is usually with custom builders, is that I've seen it more often than not is where builders look at their design work as a trade secret. And they feel like if they go out and they put it out there on the interwebs, the internet, whether it's social media or website or blog or whatever it is, they think that people are going to steal their work and take it to their competitors. And this is what we need to understand. In the process of shopping for a remodeler or a home builder, people cannot visualize. In other words, leads cannot visualize what their new space or home is going to look like. And so they go on a search online for design ideas. So if your website does not have brilliant design ideas, or is just lacking in design ideas, or has old design ideas, out of style design ideas, Diana, we talked about this a little bit ahead of time, but do leads shop by process of inclusion or exclusion?
I will guess. So I have an uneducated guess that it's exclusion.
Exclusion, exactly. So if
Okay.
your website is devoid of really great design work, including floor plans, if you're a home builder, uh, you could be eliminated before you ever get a chance. So just keep this in mind. You're going to lose more business to people eliminating you because they don't see your great design ideas on your online platforms than you ever will by having a prospective lead take your design idea to one of your competitors. So you always want to be showcasing your design.
Always. All right. And what's mistake number 3?
So mistake number 3 is telling a story. So with every great design, there's a good story behind it. So how did you develop the floor plan? When you built the home for one of your customers, what were the problems they came to you with? What was the design solution that you presented to them, and what was the final result? So I see this so often is where a client of mine would say, well, geez, that takes time. I don't want to take the time and energy to go through this. You don't have to do more than maybe just a paragraph. But when you just show a photo or a floor plan and you really don't have any copy behind it, you're losing a lot of the emotional appeal that lead is looking for, and that's going to make that lead sticky, where they're going to say, wow, you're the builder for me. Now think about this. If you are a lead and you want to build a home or remodel your home, the first thing you look for is, does this builder design and build a project in the style that I'm interested in? So if I am a home buyer and let's say I want to have a one level home, I'm going to look for floor plans and designs for one level homes. So if I land on a website that is full of 2-story homes, I'm probably going to eliminate that person. So once I find, so I'm initially attracted to that photo or that floor plan. Once I find that, the next thing I'm looking for is I wanted it to be relatable. So when you tell the story of your clients and how you came to design these floor plans, to design these projects, that's going to help your new leads be relatable. It's like an online review or a testimonial, but just telling the story behind it. You don't have to get into last names, but using a first name of of somebody that you've done a project for, talking about they came to you, or what the existing home was like if it was remodeling, or the home they were moving from, what they weren't able to do, why they moved, why you designed the home the way that you did, and what the final result was. Very, very powerful.
And so we discussed about 3 mistakes, and I assume that there's some strategy around or something that can help us.
If you get nothing more than this, this video today, Diana, is understanding that the number one differentiator and profit maximizer that you have as a builder is design. Okay,
Yeah.
there's nothing stronger than that because it's such a strong emotional appeal. And so we want to go into next is maybe into a few strategies. Does that sound okay on using design to help you make sales?
Yes, I'm curious about how can we strategize around that.
All right, so we'll start off with number one. You want to charge for design, and you want to charge early and often. Okay, so you want to charge. So I recommend breaking your design charges into 2 parts: one for a concept plan, and then again for full design. The key to doing this is, number one, you have to just ask for it, but before you ask for it, you have to create a value proposition for your lead. Meaning that if you want to charge, let's just say $500 for a concept plan, you have to create a value proposition, a proposition that will show your lead that if they invest $500 with you to do this concept plan, they're going to get $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 worth of value in return. So the most simple way to do this is simply to tell a story about how a client that you worked with came to you and thought that they needed to design this. But when you actually put pen to paper or computer, typed on your computer, came up with a design. When you actually did that, you were able to change the design in a way that gave them what they wanted, but saved them thousands of dollars, in most cases. So it's your expertise in the industry combined with your ability to design is why people are going to pay you money to design something where some of your competitors might be doing for free.
That's very interesting. And another strategy?
Yeah, so the next strategy is to include time for interior design in your design deposit. So again, looking at that two-step process, what we do, number one is we get a concept plan going. We're able to narrow the budget a little bit. People see something, they get excited about it, they want to go to the next step. So then you give them more money. You're going to do a full design now. You should be budgeting for interior design in that as well. It's not just architectural design, but it's interior design. So product selections, color selections, having an expert that works directly for you and will represent you when your clients make those interior design selections is very, very important. And it's hard, it's hard to add that into your design deposit. But I'm telling you is that your leads will pay for it and you should be charging for it.
Yeah, so that's very good strategy. And we have a first strategy, right?
Yeah, so the next one is we want to look at, okay, how do you base your design fees? Now, historically, I have not been a proponent of charging design fees based on a percentage of budget. Uh, But with the current market, the way it's at right now, and with pricing volatility coming up here, I recommend that when you charge a design fee, that you come up with an initial budget and then you do charge for a percentage of that budget. This is something new that we're seeing now that does work, whereas before it didn't work. Now, this assumes a few things like we've talked about before, which is where you're creating a slot schedule, you're creating urgency through scarcity, where people are lining up to actually meet with you and potentially have you build their home or your remodeling project. So if you come up with a budget of $150,000, guess what? Your design fees are going to be a percentage of that. So whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 1,500, 3,000, 40, 500, so on and so forth. You can also do it based on the anticipated complexity of the project. So a custom home versus a semi-custom home. So a custom home should have a much, much higher design deposit than a semi-custom home. So again, be aggressive because this is so important. The market demands it right now, and design is, again, it's a selling tool. Charge for it, create a value proposition, and then have a method to the madness. Don't just pull out, a number out of your hat, but have a method to how you're coming up with that deposit.
And it's like I want more. Is there another strategy to?
You always want more, Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're a remodeler, now this is something that really home builders can't do, but remodelers can do. If you are a remodeler and you're doing multiple services, whether you're a design builder or specialty remodeler that sells multiple projects, pre-sell design for future projects. So somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I want to do my kitchen. Well, through a process of interviewing and qualification, you should find out if this is the only project they're considering for their home or if they want to do multiple projects. And a lot of times you'll find that people want to start with the kitchen, but eventually they want to do the master suite. And then maybe they want to do the basement, or they want to do the attic, or they want to do some outdoor living spaces. Well, once you identify those, pre-sell your design with that first project. And the benefit to that is, of course, is that you pre-sell it and you discount it, is that now you have a built-in customer for down the road, right? So again, comes in for a kitchen. Okay, so I design that and I say, hey, by the way, Diana, is there any other projects you're considering down the road? Oh yeah, we really want to do our master suite. We want to, combine this bedroom. We want to create a closet and master suite. Wonderful. Normally a project like that, budget would be approximately this much, and we would charge this much to design it. However, if you design it up front now, we'll give you this discount, and then you can actually have it as part of your overall master plan for your home. People will jump on this, and it gives you the ability to create built-in work for years down the road. So in other words, you are their remodeling advisor versus being a one and done remodeling client. Does that make sense, Diana?
Yes, wonderful strategy. So we have three mistakes, four strategies, and now what's next?
Yeah. So what's next is simply getting started. And this is an offer that we will throw out there. It doesn't, not everyone qualifies, but we will book up to 20 qualified lead appointments for you as a home builder or remodeler for zero fee and zero ad spend. And we'll do this in 30 days. So if you are interested, just click on the link below, schedule a strategy call with me. I'll be happy to see if you qualify and then tell you how it works. And you can see exactly how this works. Using design as a selling tool, of course, is predicated on is that you have the right leads in front of you, and you have an overabundance of leads, so you can create urgency and through scarcity.
Sounds like a great strategy and a good start. And the offer is amazing. 20 qualified leads. That's impressive.
Yep, right. So most of our clients should be closing about 50%. So that's 10 jobs for you right there within 30 days. So for next week, we're going to be interviewing Ironwood Custom Builders, a case study. And this is all about how to add $100,000 and 5% profit to every job. This is all about raising that revenue, raising that profit margin for every single job. So looking forward to that, to having you guys meet Kelly from Ironwood Custom Builders, and he does custom homes and remodeling. I think you're going to really love to hear about his story, about where he started and where he's at right now.
That's exciting. Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, so until then, for my brothers and sisters in Christ, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.